Hello, my name's Tim Burbage, welcome to Tim Burbage Reads, and today I'm going to be doing a review for Thunder City by Philip Reeve. This is a new book in the Mortal Engines universe. So I love Mortal Engines, I think it is fantastic. The whole universe I think is great, and this is a brand new book that came out like this week. This is all shiny, you see the glare. That's because I got this from the library. Because I went to the library with my kids to pick out books for them. I saw this and I was like, I just have to grab it. This is a book that blew up my TBR. You know what I mean? You have those plans and then you're like, screw that, I'm just going to read this. First of all, look at that art. It's just, you got a nice little thing from Charlie Hickson there. Look at the art, it's just incredible. Tamsin Pook is a fighter in the amusement arcade, where she does battle with revenants, reanimated brains within armoured engine bodies, and is never sure whether she'll survive another day. In the wheeled city of Thorbury, a rebel faction has brutally seized control, and it will take someone skilled at fighting revenants to save the day. Enter Tamsin. Along with an oddball gang of mercenaries and a teacher named Miss Torpenhow, she must outwit a pair of assassins to secure a peaceful future. An epic, thrilling, action-packed city-eat-city adventure from master storyteller Philip Reeve. And the cover illustration is by Ian McHugh, which I have to say because it's so good. That's the back, by the way, as well. Oh, so good. So I think the back is a good demonstration of what this is about. This is a city. So Mortal Engines is a world where post-apocalyptic nuclear war cities motorise and they move around and they eat other cities and towns. It's called municipal Darwinism, survival of the fittest. And this is set about 100 years before the original series. So there's a nice bit at the back. So the original series was a tetralogy or quadrilogy of Mortal Engines, Predator's Gold, Infernal Devices, and A Darkling Plane. Then there was a short story collection called Night Flights, which I haven't read yet because I just haven't found it. And then he wrote a prequel trilogy set hundreds and hundreds of years before, which were Fever Crumb, A Web of Air, and Scrivener's Moon. And that prequel trilogy, is about the motorisation of towns. So at the start, towns are not motorised, and at the end, they're kind of getting there. So this is set 100 years before Mortal Engines, so towns are on the move. And God, I missed it. Towns moving and eating each other is so interesting to read. There's inherent action, there's inherent drama, there's inherent sadness as towns die. And one thing that's interesting is the bad guy in this, Strager, does something. He has a trick to control the town of Thorbury, which is the main town that's under threat. And Miss Torpenhow, the teacher, is like, oh, well, it's against the values of municipal Darwinism. Everyone knows that. And it's very British in the fact that there's a proper way to do this warfare stuff. And these guys are breaking the rules. It's just not cricket. And then you've got Tamsin Pook, who has nothing and is just a fighter, and she ends up in this adventure to try and save this city. They travel all over the place. They don't just spend the whole time in Thorbury trying to work their way up. In fact, they spend a lot of it outside of Thorbury. Miss Torpenhow is, I would say, the driving force of the story and actually the main character, which is interesting because she's a middle-aged teacher and is very unextraordinary, but she just cares about her town and she's just willing to do whatever it takes. And she's like, well, I didn't do this yesterday, but I'm going to do it today. And that's great. That's great to read. The characters themselves are brilliant. They talk about these pair of assassins that follow them around, and they are fantastic baddies. They're so good. Their dialogue, the way they talk to each other is juicy. Yum, 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 yum. Very, very good to read. So Thunder City is full of action. It's full of drama. Characters go through a lot, and you go on a bit of a world-spanning adventure with this, which is great because I love this world and I find it so interesting to read. And then it all comes together in a really, really good finale. And I really hope that Philip Reeves writes more of these. He doesn't have to. I'm not harassing him about it. He can write what he wants because he writes kids' books as well, and my kids love them. But this is up there for me, like in terms of one of my favourite series. So I haven't read Mortal Engines for, I want to say, 4 years. I think I started reading it in lockdown, and this book does have quite similar plot beats to the first book, Mortal Engines. As in, I noticed it having not read the book for 4 years. I really, really love the book, so it does kind of live in my mind. But I was like, this has already happened. Ooh, okay, this has also already happened. So it's a bit of a Force Awakens kind of thing. But then it does go in its own direction, but it does have a few beats, and the challenge is the few of those beats are quite early on in the story, and then after that it kind of does its own thing. So if you're not a big fan and you've just read Mortal Engines and then you pick this up and you start reading it, it might feel a little similar to you. I don't care about that because I love this book series. This is a 5-star read for me. I'm so glad I took my kids to the library. I'm so glad I spotted this. And I just want more of it. I just want more of it. So there we go. Beautiful. Anyway, that's my book review. Please give this video a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And get out of my house.